thanks for the introduction. I feel like I'm in South Carolina, just a bigger version of it. We don't wear the hats, but we share the values, right? You remember the Alamo? Well, both the commander and the second guy in charge were from South Carolina. What should you learn from that? Maybe you shouldn't let us be in charge. That didn't end well, but they fought really hard. I do a good many of these, and Craig, you called me and said, would you come? And I started reading about y'all. Y'all like the largest Republican county left, right? And this ain't easy, is it? So I felt like that the least I could do was help you if I could. And I hope you raised some money tonight, and Ted and John are happy they helped you too, I'm sure. I'm sure they're really happy about that. Where's the guy with the gun? Would you stand up? Well, I know y'all got guns, but the guy, is that the one wearing the gun? Yeah. I hope you enjoy this. And if I say anything to offend you, I'm sorry. I wanted to get that out of the way. I'm from the federal government. I'm here to help you. I wanted to get that out of the way, too. So, y'all are a lot of fun. The more you drink, the better I'll sound, so just keep it up. The first 10 people I met were running for judge. And all of them were women. I've never met so many people running for judge in my entire life. That tells me a lot about this county. This is a very dangerous place. Y'all have a lot of judges. There must be a lot going on. But the fact that there's so many women representing our party, God bless you all. And to the members of Congress, Kay, thank you, sweetheart. I've traveled the whole world, Kay. And Beth, where are you at? Thank y'all for putting up with Nancy Pelosi the best you can. Where's the guy that doesn't need a haircut at? Did he have to go? Well, so anyway, and I know a bunch of y'all are running against each other. Y'all will figure it out. And all I can say is we better not screw this up. Do you agree? Yeah, so I am honored to be here. Anybody been to South Carolina? Come back, spend money. I took Strom Thurmond's place. Anybody heard of him? Yeah. We change senators every 50 years where we need to or not. He was elected the year before I was born. So if I can do what he's done, I got 34 more years to do this. Now I'll come back on my last year for free again. So let's just talk a little bit about where we're at and where we're going, okay? Y'all are challenged, but you withstood it. 82 for 82? 83 for 83. Bottom line is liberals hate Texas. That's why I love Texas. They hate what y'all doing. They hate what you believe. And they're trying their best to turn you the other direction. But y'all seem to be in pretty good shape. And I want to tell you about John Cornyn and Ted Cruz. They're wonderful senators. Thank you for sending these two fine men to the United States Senate. If Ted could get over his shyness, he'd have a hell of a career. Ted and I scrap every now and then, but usually we're on the same side. I've never met a more dedicated constitutional conservative than Ted Cruz in my life. So thank you very, very much. John Cornyn's on judiciary. He was a stalwart when it came to judges. He was a judge himself, like everybody in this room. And I appreciate them both. Speaking of President Trump, we weren't, but we are now. When I saw that picture, it scared me. I said, oh hell, he's here. And one thing I can tell you, you'll never have him until you pay. But so you might want to get used to that cutout, because that's probably all you're going to get. So I was one of the 16 people who ran for president in 2020, and if you don't remember that, it's really not your fault, because it didn't last that long. Nobody even got a t-shirt, but I enjoyed it. So Trump and I didn't see eye to eye would be a fair statement. He said, why did you say all those things about me? I said, I couldn't think of anything else to say. But when it was over, I accepted my defeat. He won, I lost. And I think he was a hell of a president.
Yeah!
So, people ask me, what happened between you and Trump? Well, I said, well, I got to know him. We found common ground. I came to like him, and he likes him. We play a lot of golf. The first 9 holes is why I like him, and the second 9 holes is why he likes him. So the bottom line is, during his 4 years, he made a big difference, don't you think? And every day that goes by, we miss him, don't we? Sid, will you stand up? Is the agriculture guy still here? Where's the food at? Okay. Who's the Commissioner of Agriculture? Did I get his name wrong? Okay. Well, he looks like Texas, right? I see him on Fox all the time. He's funny as hell. And somebody said he's the most honest politician in Texas. Well, South Carolina, that ain't that hard, so, but I'm sure it's harder here. But you got some really bigger-than-life personalities. You're sort of like the guiding light for conservatism. When everybody else is down and out, they can look to Texas for hope. Because you're not afraid of being conservative, are you? No. You're proud to be pro-life, right? Yeah. Well, I'm pushing a bill. We're one of 7 nations in the world that allow you to abort a baby at 20 weeks, the 5th month. North Korea and Iran. Wouldn't you like to get out of that club? So we got a heck of an agenda for a lot of people. And I think this party's best days are ahead. I want to thank the Democratic Party for making us look better every day. That's it. I recognize the most honest politician in Texas. Come in. I don't know who's second, but you're way ahead of it. Thank you, buddy. So the bottom line is I want you to think about 3 things. What they've done as Democrats, what they would do if they could, and how we can win, okay? What have they done? They've screwed the country up. Do you agree with that? They took a border that was secure and is wide open broke. If there was a contest to screw up the world, Joe Biden would have won. How can you do this in 8 months? And how many of you think Kamala Harris will probably be the nominee in 2024? I hope so. Hillary Clinton without charm. So the bottom line for me is that look at what they've done in 8 months. They took a secure border and we're being invaded. I don't blame everybody in the world for coming here. I blame us for letting everybody in the world come here. Only God knows who's coming. What's the likelihood that some terrorist in Afghanistan will come visit us? Right. Going up every day, isn't it? So the border's in chaos. Anybody here in the military? Round of applause for those who've worn uniforms. So one of the first people I met that wasn't a judge was a state senator. Birdwell, is that right, sir? And I saw the Purple Heart ribbon. I said, where'd you get that? He said, I was in the Pentagon on 9/11. And I said, I'm honored to be here. And that's why I wanted to donate $5,000. Maybe it'll help a guy like you. But ladies and gentlemen, what happened in Afghanistan breaks my heart. I went there with John McCain and others 57 times since 9/11. I've been to Iraq, I've been to Afghanistan 57 times since the war to try to figure out how to keep us safe. What Joe Biden did by pulling all our forces out and allowed the Taliban to take over that country is the biggest mistake since 9/11. There's too many people died, too many families been turned upside down, too many lives shattered to give it away like this. Let's win in 2022, okay? I've never been more worried about a terrorist attack like 9/11 than I am right now. How hard would it be for somebody from Afghanistan to make their way to the southern border and kill a bunch of us? We got any Presbyterians here? You're predestined to be here. We're glad to have you. We got any Baptists? That's big. We got any Methodists? That's a Baptist that can read. Glad to have you. Now, we make jokes about our religious differences. If you get nothing else out of this speech, which you did not pay for, radical Islam would kill everybody in this room. Do you believe that? And the only reason they can't is because our military won't let them get to us. Now we're dependent on the Taliban to take care of America. Is that a good idea? It's really a dumb idea. That's a dangerous idea. Joe Biden has done more harm to our national security in 8 months than anybody in modern times.
Right.
If you did the opposite of Joe Biden, you'd be in the Hall of Fame. He turned down sound military advice, and the rest is history. Inflation is a nightmare for working men and women. I'm the first person in my family to ever go to college. Anybody in that boat? My dad owned a liquor store, a bar, and a pool room. That is why I'm good at being a United States Senator. I grew up in the back of the bar and ran the pool room, and I know a liar when I see one. So, neither one of my parents finished high school. And only in America can you do what a lot of us have done. I'm in the Senate. Many of you have accomplished great things because you work hard. But Joe Biden and his crowd are destroying the ability to create a job in this country. Job creators are the enemy in their world. We were energy independent, now we're begging the Mideast to produce more oil. Isn't this the dumbest thing in the history of the world? We shut down our pipeline and let Russia build theirs. You know, in 2020, people thought, well, Joe Biden sounds pretty good. We need sort of a more level-headed guy, a moderate fellow. Don't you think we were tricked? Tell you what, every day it goes by, tweets and all, Donald Trump looks better and better than me. So what's happened here is in 8 months, the border has become completely surrendered to drug cartels and human traffickers. We surrendered Afghanistan to the Taliban and terrorists. Our economy is going south. Inflation is running rampant. And we lost the ability to be energy independent because of crazy ideas coming out of this administration. We can't afford to lose again, do you agree? Now, thank God that Texas has changed their laws in terms of how you vote. Mail-in balloting without some control is right for cheating. The reason I know we're doing it right, because all the liberals are really upset at what Texas and Georgia are doing. How many of you here believe that every American should have the right to vote? How many believe every American should have the right to vote without cheating? Ballot harvesting and all that stuff. So, when you look at 2022, the argument we need to make is somebody needs to slow this crowd down. Somebody needs to fire Nancy Pelosi. Okay, I don't know how y'all put up with it. Bottom line again is that they have a 4-seat majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. We can pick up 2 or 3 of those seats in Texas. Everybody in the world is moving to Texas. Now I think I know why. You clean up well. You're growing. And I think we're going to pick up 25 to 40 seats in the House because there's a backlash. I came in 1994 with a contract with AMERICAFIRST because 40 years of Democratic control wore people thin. I think there's going to be a big backlash. I think we're going to blow it out in the House. What does that mean for you in Texas? That means Nancy Pelosi can't run the House anymore. That means that all this social train never gets off the tracks. That means the squad and AOC really had nothing to do but be on TV. It would fundamentally change America if we could take the House back in 2022 to stop the most radical agenda in my lifetime. Let it be said that Texas will do her part. So, we need one more United States Senator. One more. If I could give you another one, I would. You only get 2. But I'd give you 3. Take one from California, but they won't let me do it. If we could pick up one more senator, I would be the budget chairman, not Bernie Sanders. If you're sitting on your wallet, that's a good deal for you. So ladies and gentlemen, one senator would change everything. We could stop some of these appointments. We'd have a say about who's going to be on the bench more than we do today. We'd be in charge of the place rather than Chuck Schumer. I think we got a heck of a good chance to pick up a majority of the United States Senate. And Arizona has 2 Democratic senators. Mark Kelly's on the ballot. I'm going to Arizona Monday to look at the border. He should be with me, but he's not. We got a heck of a story to tell. We need to stop these people in 2022 so we can win in 2024. How many of you would like to see Trump run again? I'm not going to ask the other question. But I'd like to see him take another shot at it. But if he doesn't, we got a lot of people who would be darn good candidates. Mike Pompeo would be a heck of a candidate. The bottom line is, and you got the governor of Florida, and you got all kinds of people. We have an embarrassment of riches. But I keep telling President Trump, 2024 won't matter if we screw up 2022. Yes. You agree with that? Yeah. We got to stop this train. So the bottom line for me is that we've got to make sure that we slow down the socialist agenda and we keep the Senate intact. I've told you what they have done. Let me tell you what they would do if they could. If you don't want to give money after this, then I have screwed up big time. If they had the ability, District of Columbia would be a state. Puerto Rico would be a state. There'd be 13 members on the Supreme Court, not 9. The Electoral College would be abolished. H.R. 1, eliminating voter ID and allowing ballot harvesting at the federal level, would be the law of the land. What stops that? The filibuster. So we've got to manage the Senate in a smart way, folks, to make sure that we don't lose the filibuster before 2022. Every day I go to work, I check and see how everybody looks physically. Just think about what would happen. One person gets sick. So the only thing between us and a transformed America in all the wrong ways is 1 seat, 2 senators not willing to go along with Chuck Schumer. I've done everything but move in with Joe Manchin. Pray for Joe Manchin. So what would happen if we lost more seats in the Senate, or they're able to change the filibuster, we will not recover from it. America will be fundamentally changed forever. Abolishing the Electoral College means that New York and California eventually elect the President of the United States. Packing the court means that everything we've worked for all these years is wiped out in one moment. Do we have any pro-life women here? You know where we got a pro-life woman now? On the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett. We'll talk about Kavanaugh in a second, but we don't talk about Amy enough. She is the real deal. She is unashamedly pro-life. She embraces her faith, and she is who you are. And they didn't destroy her because of Kavanaugh. Well, let me tell you why Kavanaugh was important. If they had won and we had backed out and thrown in the towel, who would be next wanting to be a judge? After what he went through, all these judge candidates, would you want your name in the pot in Washington? What they were willing to do to this man was the low point in my time in the United States Senate. I've known Brett for 25 years. If he moved in and he became your neighbor, you would be lucky to have him and his wife live by you. How would you like your life ruined over a party in high school that nobody could remember where it was at and when it happened? And the people named to be there said they don't know what you're talking about. Right. How would you like 3 people to make false accusations against you to ruin your life? How this man went through that, I'll never know. I think the good Lord was on his side. So I want you to understand how they play the game. The only reason anybody listened to me is because I voted for Sotomayor and Kagan. And I took a lot of crap. Because I believe that presidents get to pick judges based on their qualification. That Scalia got 96 votes, and almost every Democrat voted for him. And Ginsburg got 97. Almost every Republican voted for her. They changed the game. Bork, Thomas, Alito, now Kavanaugh. Why is it always our people, right? So, on the last day of the hearing, they tell us, oh, by the way, we got this letter we'd like to put in the record. They'd had the letter from Dr. Ford for weeks and never allowed Brett to answer the accusation. You wake up the next morning, it's front page of the Washington Post. Don't you think this was planned? Yeah. You know why I would never do this to Sotomayor and Kagan? Because I was raised better. So folks, when it comes to the left, they're the most intolerant, hateful people on the planet. And they play hard. And here's what I want you to understand. Play hard too, but don't forget who you are. Remember when your mama and daddy said, because Johnny did it, doesn't mean you do it? I think the guiding light of the Republican Party is we actually believe in stuff other than just power. That our judges disappoint us every now and then because they think for themselves. I've never felt better about the future of the Republican Party than I do right now. Have you heard of Tim Scott? Isn't he awesome? Yes. From my state. Yes. The only African-American United States Senator who worked at Chick-fil-A, which means he should be president. But Tim is going to take this party to new levels. To all these women here, young girls are going to understand that conservatism is for them. To the Hispanic community of Texas, you are our future. We love you. You work hard. You play by the rules. And I'm sorry your communities are being overrun. This party, our party, is on the verge of a breakout. What do we need to do between now and 2022? Not eat our own. Get these primaries behind us, and if you lose, do what I did. Accept it. And realize that whatever fault you find in your opponent, compare that to what's coming if the other side wins. So I think we're going to blow it out in 2022. I think in 2024, the Republican Party has a chance to get it all back. The House, the Senate, and the White House. I believe to the bottom of my heart that conservatism is the last best hope for mankind. I believe that America is the last best hope for mankind. A conservative America is exactly what we need in the 21st century. I never dreamed I would be in the United States Senate. Growing up where I grew up, it just couldn't happen, but it did. You know why I got in the Senate? Because of people like you.
Thank you.
People who believed in me when I was in the State House, the first Republican since Reconstruction. We couldn't elect a Republican with the Union Army. That's how bad it was back home. And the rest is history. Every day that I go to work, I think, oh my God, how did this happen to me? You know how it happened to me? It's because other people helped me. This is a party event. There are about 10 of you that are not elected here tonight. Let me tell you what the Republican Party did for me. It got me on my feet and got me started. People making those phone calls. Having a good copier. I'm going to close with you here, buddy. The Republican Women Federation, where are those folks at? Nobody thought I had a snowball's chance in hell of winning, because when I first ran for the State House, we hadn't elected a Republican since 1873. And it was the Republican Federation of Women that came and did all the mail-outs. It was the Republican Coffee Club, which was the average age of about 89 years old of men, who made all the phone calls. It was a pro-life group that did my first fundraiser, and we raised $12,000. So, what am I telling you? Without people like you, there ain't no people like me and the rest of us here. So if you don't have a full-time person in this county, you need to go get one. Because if we lose this county, the Democrats are going to smell blood in Texas. Right? And I didn't know crap about this county until a day ago. I came because I'm going to be in Midland Sunday, and I've known Craig for years. I didn't even know you worked for me. So I've read up on you, and I've met you. I feel really good about the future of Texas Republican politics. So, you got other people to talk. I've enjoyed it very, very much. And I'm going to watch election night in this county. I want to see how many of these women become judges. And I hope you get I hope you get not only 83 or 83 in the House, maybe we pick one up to the Texas State Senate. That's a big deal. You represent more people than a member of Congress. Y'all are a little bit bigger than us. We got 46 senators, you only got 31. So Texas politics is a big deal for America. Do you realize that? Do you realize you're the last best hope for big states? So I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I'm glad I came. I'm glad you were smart enough not to pay me. I'm glad I gave you money. And God bless Texas.